Thanks for watching. This is your April 2023 market report. This is a real estate recap of the first quarter of 2023, and I hope that the information is helpful to you. So let's dive right into it. Let's first talk about active listings. Active listings means homes that are currently on the market, homes and condos. As you can see from this chart, in 2023, well, we're up 59% year over year since last year. However, those were outlying years. That 2021, 2022, those markets were a little chaotic, not something that we should be basing ourselves on. However, if you look up above, those line charts, those are from 2017 through 2020, and you can see that we are well below the inventory that those years had. So although we are up 59% nationally, we are still well below pre-pandemic numbers. But let's talk local. The national supply had an increase of 59%. Locally in Vero Beach, we had an increase of 24%. And that's great. I'm happy to see more inventory. It makes it easier for buyers, hopefully, to find a home. And it makes our market a little bit more even. So now let's talk about existing home sales. We're going to look at homes that have sold month over month. And the new report that came out last week from the National Association of Realtors states that month over month, nationally, we saw an increase of 14.5% in home sales, which is great. That means buyers are finding homes that they like and they are buying them. While nationally we had a 14.5% increase, locally we experienced a 33% increase in home sales. That means we are closing on houses that buyers were buying. We are not lagging behind. So let's talk about pending home sales. These are homes that are currently under contract but have not actually closed yet. Currently, we are down 24% year over year. Now that's a national number, but that national number brings us back to kind of our pre-pandemic numbers, which is a good thing. It just shows you that our market is becoming more stable. And pending home sales nationally month over month saw an increase of 0.8%. So although they have been down year over year, we're seeing nationally a slight return. But what's that mean locally? So nationally, year over year, we saw pending sales increase 24%. Locally, we saw pending sales increase 66%. And nationally, we saw pending home sales month over month increase 0.8%. But locally, we saw our month over month pending sales increase 100%. So from February 2023 to March 2023, we saw an increase of 100%. So let's recap for a second. Nationally, we have a year over year increase in inventory by 59%. But locally, we only have an increase of 24%, which means we're not bringing enough homes on the market fast enough for our buyer demand. Now, nationally, we have an increase in sold homes month over month of 14%. But locally, we have an increase in sold homes of 33%, which means we're selling more homes than the national average, and we're not keeping up with the national average of inventory. And finally, nationally, we have an increase in pending sales. Month over month, we saw pending sales increase nationally by 0.8%. But month over month locally, we saw increase in pending sales go to 100%. Hey, if I'm moving too fast and you're trying to take notes, don't worry. I've got all this so that you can download it. Just email me if you want all the slides or just those figures. Let's move on. Now, we're not going to focus too much on interest rates, except to point out that buyer demand increases and decreases at a certain rate, and that rate is 6.5%. What we found out through Mortgage News Daily is that buyers, when they are under 6.5%, their demand increases. And when it's under 6%, it's strong. But when it's over 6.5%, it becomes limited. And when it's over 7%, it becomes extremely weak. Now, fortunately, we're at 6.5% right now. And according to last week's report, mortgage applications increased last week by 2.9%. So with buyers ready to buy, let's go back to talking about inventory, and that inventory is currently down. When we look at inventory in our area, in Vero Beach, we see that in March of 2022, we had 2.5 months worth of inventory. In January 2023, we had 7 months of inventory. But in March, because we had such high demand and so many properties go under contract, we now sit at 1.5 months worth of supply. Well, what does that do to us? That means that because we have such low supply and high demand, that means prices stay up. And if you look at this chart, this shows the median price for last year, March to March. And you can see that we have a 10% increase in home valuation. As long as we stay with low inventory, we're going to suffer from having high prices. So what kind of market are we in? We're still in a seller's market and an extreme seller's market. I think we'd all prefer a neutral market, happy for both buyers and sellers. But as long as we sit at that 2.6 months worth of inventory nationally and 1.5 months locally, it's still going to be a seller's market. But what are the experts saying about the next 5 years and what to expect? So, estimated national price performance provided by the experts. They expect in 2023 that we will actually see a price reduction of 1.6%. However, in 2024, they expect us to make that up and be at 1.9% gain. In 2025, 3.5% gain. In 2026, a 4.25% gain. And in 2027, a 4.4% gain. Add that up, divide it by 5, and you have a 12.55% gain on your investment if you buy today. Now, let's put that into some real numbers. If you bought a house today for $400,000, they expect that you'll have a slight decline in valuation next year. But each year after, for the next 5 years, they expect that you will gain $54,000 on your $400,000 investment. And if I were a buyer who trusted the experts, I'd be watching the market, the inventory, and the rates. When the right home comes on the market, we need to be ready to move. Don't expect rates to get into the 4% range again, not anytime soon. Buy the home you love that you can afford. Waiting may cost you more money in the future. But what about sellers? Well, Jeff Tucker, senior economist for Zillow, said sellers who price and market their home competitively shouldn't have a problem finding a buyer. And this is interesting because I've been showing property all season long, and I can tell you the properties that are selling are those that are ready to sell. They're clean, they've been decorated properly, their exteriors look stunning, and those homes move quickly. Those that don't, they sit on the market. And as they sit, the perceived value goes down, and they sit for longer and or get less when they sell. I'd love to talk to you about this more. If you'd like any of these slides, just email me. If you have any questions, I'd love to talk to you. I'm Trip Hernandez with Dale Sorensen Real Estate in Vero Beach, Florida. Thanks for watching.